Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. Since there's only 9 pages on the recent Black Clover chapter, I'm going to review the chapter that I haven't reviewed, which was the one with Libe and Asta, I don't know, chapter 326, and I'm going to combine it into this video since, again, I didn't get to it because, again, I am a lazy cunt and a bastard. I'm not going to waste you guys' time, so let's get right into the chapter 326, then I'll get right into chapter 327, which is pretty short. In our last chapter with Yuno's decision, Yuno bets on Yami since he has William Fonch's sword. And now, with the teleportation and with conjunction, Yuno is able to teleport both Yami and both Noct, with Noct using Doppelganger as the technique, which makes clones of him and Yami and the sword. Which, I gotta say, these guys have perfect synergy together, and if it wasn't for Yuno and Austin being number 1 on my spot for the top duos, these guys would definitely be number 2. But Lucifero, being the king of devils, is able to sprout 2 more arms from his back, from his wings, and stab both Yami and Noct in the stomach. And now Lucifero now thinks it truly is over. Now Libe is now thinking back and apologizing to Lisita because he thinks that this is his fault. And personally, I don't think it's something that Libe should shoulder on himself. But let's continue. Asta sees every memory that Libe has of him in the underworld, Lisita picking him back up when he was down, taking him in, and when Lucifero killed her. Now, honestly, I don't think Asta knows, but I do think to a certain extent Asta kind of knows. Personally, we'll just talk about that at the end of the chapter, and we'll go over that. Libe then says that he spent years in that grimoire, cursing the devils after Lucita got killed, all for what? In the end, he wasn't enough to beat Lucifero. Libe then says that I can't forgive them, I hate them, but I also can't forgive myself. If I had magic, if only I didn't leave the underworld, Lisita wouldn't have met me, and she wouldn't have died. And Libe is now breaking down crying, saying sorry to Lisita. Honestly, I already been sold on Libe, and I already been a huge fan of him, but this right here is giving him a much needed development that I personally think that he needed to push him up to a higher level, and this is what we needed. Libe at his best, and Libe at his most pure. Asta finally has a heart-to-heart with his brother Libe and says that, I had no idea about your pain. I was the only one that couldn't use magic, and it really hurt, but your anger, your sadness, it gave me power, and for that, I'm thankful for meeting you, and it's because of you that I'm here now, it's because of you that I'm here fighting, and you just gotta love this moment from Asta, because Asta is going deep down, he's being honest, he's being for real, he's just saying, hey, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be in the position I was in right now. Honestly, I am currently loving the relationship between Asta and Libe and their contract, them being friends and being equals, even though I think one day it will backfire on them. I just love moments like this. And Asta then tells Libe that, alone, I have nothing, but with you, I want to fight together with you. Together, we can be something. Alone, we are nothing, but together, we can make something of ourselves. Let me fight with you, Libe. Libe then finally realizes his vow with Asta, well, his contract with Asta, them being equals, being best friends. And now Libe realized that he's no longer alone. He's no longer alone in that grimoire. He no longer has to be alone. He has a brother. And Asta and Libe both say together, let's do this, brother. Honestly, when I mean that Asta probably knows that Lisita is his mother, but doesn't outright say it, I feel like it kind of does make sense. But I do think that Asta feels like she is his mother, but he feels like this is a moment for Libe since he doesn't really know his mother like that. Maybe he doesn't know and he's just calling him brother because, again, he's treating Libe like a family. Asta finally stands back up and then looks at Lucifero dead in the eye and blocks his punch and tells him, I don't care if you're the king of the devils, how dare you kill my partner's mother, which ends the chapter. And personally, this right here just sums up that Asta and Libe might be in sync, but we'll get into the next chapter and I'll tell you guys more about that. Lucifero now thinks that this must be a fluke that he was able to stop his punch, and he decides to go for another one and tries it again, but it doesn't work because Asta takes the punch and looks at Lucifero dead in the eye. And Asta, well, Libe and Asta say together that it's a weird feeling. Before we met, things were overlapped. Now it's all truly merged. And so it's not really about specific grudges now. All I know now is I have to take you down. This is the merger of Asta and Libe in sync, just like how Saint Stage is basically the user and the spirit actually generally knowing each other. It is Asta and Libe finally coming to terms with each other and becoming one. It is a greater fusion and a greater combination. Asta could possibly be a demon king, but that's just me. Lucifer then notices that Asta's shutting off all the magic right now, and Lucifer decides, hey, third time's a charm, and continues punching him. And Lucifer just tells him, hey, stop fucking with me right now. And Asta just says, you're the one that's fucking with me right now, and with a clap back as a comeback. And Asta cuts off Lucifer's horns and the two arms that basically gutted both Yami and Noct. Noct, looking like he's seen better days, then says to himself that this might be perfected devil union. And Yami thinks back on when he first recruited Asta and says, you really are something, huh? They then tell Asta to go get Lucifero, and Asta then announces that he only has 5 seconds of devil union left. That's where the counterattack starts, and he kicks Lucifero in the face. Now, 5 seconds. 5 seconds in real time, pretty short, yeah. But in anime and manga, it's pretty long. But in my personal opinion, if this kick is all the damage that Asta can do, in 5 seconds, I don't think that he could possibly beat Lucifero. But honestly, I think all of us need to understand this. If Lucifero wins and survives, it's game over. Taba is going to need to find a way to seal Lucifero back in the underworld, or give the time for the character to retreat and get stronger to stop Lucifero, because a 50% Lucifero at best is giving him trouble. He could possibly destroy everything in the world if he wanted to. And not only that, there are 2 other devils at 100% in the underworld, Beelzebub and the Time Devil, just like him. And it's also crazy because Adramelech is still there sitting watching the fight go down. So if Asta's devil union ends in 5 seconds, and he's somehow able to, back Lucifero in the corner, Adramelech's motivations are still not clear to us. Maybe Adramelech will help Lucifero, or maybe he will finally side with the humans and help them out in a way to seal Lucifero in the underworld, or tell them a way how to seal him. Personally, I think the stakes are raised, because if 5 seconds of devil union just doesn't work and Lucifero basically, kills Asta, it might be game for all of us. Well, for them, not us. We're just reading. But my fascination for Adramelech grows more, because I've been voting for this guy in the popularity poll, so I just want to see this guy do something, and when he does, I know it's going to be hype. Personally, tell me what you guys think is going to happen next chapter, because break is going to be next week, so next 2 weeks, tell me what's going to happen in that chapter. Personally, I do think that this devil union might not work, and Lucifero might come out victorious, but I think Adramelech might decide to step in and help Asta and Libe, or tell everyone a way to seal Lucifero in the underworld, or maybe he has a method. Because I do think that Adramelech isn't really like the other devils, but that's just me. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay notified whenever I upload. Anyways, see you guys later. I am out. Peace. Goodbye.